Oh, here we go. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Holy cow. It's been a minute since we've done one of these. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I took a bit of time off. Y'all took a bit of time off, and we all had a good holiday. I hope everyone's having a good one. I hope absolutely everybody's having a good one. So, right out of the gates, straight out of the gates here. Trish Brew's having a good one. Saying Happy New Year, Clyde, and everyone hit the like button. Hit that like button on the way in, and it looks like there's a bunch of new people in the community. This is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, that's right. So we've gotten to a point where we are now currently at, what is it? What are we at? 200,000 subscribers on the channel. That's amazing. That's crazy. It's just unbelievable to see. And I'm glad to see you all here. I'm glad to see you all here. It's really it's obviously it's been a slice since it began, and we're gonna keep on going. It's really crazy. Yeah, that's a huge breakthrough. Absolutely. Happy New Year to all, says Mr. Roscoe Pico, member for 38 months. Happy New Year to all. Happy New Year. How you doing? Oh man, we got a lot to get into because I've been kind of off of it for a minute. I took my time off. I spent some time with family because I've been pretty busy. If you haven't noticed, yeah, I've been very busy. Got lots going on with the shorts, got lots going on with the channel, lots of videos going up. It's absolutely insane what's been happening lately. So I decided, hey, you know what? Because I've been on the nose to the grindstone for so long, so hard, I'm going to take a little bit of time. And I took a little bit of time for family, for hanging out, for relaxing, a little R&R. That's the way we do things. Evening, folks. Everybody in the stream. Why don't we get the chat up on in here? How do I do that? I almost forget how to run all of this. Welcome, chat. Here you are. Congratulations on 200,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, Canadian Spider-Man. Really appreciate that. Drew showing us how flooded Van is with Indians. Is that right? Is that what Drew was showing? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Happy New Year 2026. Blessings to all. Whoop whoop. Right on. We're doing awesome. This is great, and I want to get into some of the stuff that's going down now. Bear with me. I've had a little bit of like configuration change. Some stuff's been moved around, so it might be a little cumbersome tonight, but we'll get it situated. We'll get it sorted. Because there's a lot to look at. Holy cow, is there ever a lot to look at? I want to make sure we address all of this. Happy New Year, says, who is this? Uncle Chico. Uncle Chico for $5 saying Happy New Year, fellow Albertans from Costa Rica. Let's make it this year an independence from Ottawa. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think a lot of people would like to see that. Incredible. I mean, this is the year it's going to happen. If it happens at all, let's hope it's successful. There's a lot of naysayers out there. I've been having some a little back and forth with some people here and there. Now, I've got no skin in the game. I've got nothing to lose on the whole independence thing. I just happen to believe that movements like this, they start off with, a little bit of popularity, maybe, a couple of decades worth of people grumbling about it. And then next thing you know, it's about 30% of the population that are really, really enamored with this idea. And then it goes mainstream. And, we've heard this time and time again that there's a theory that, when something is about 30% or more popular in the grassroots, that when it becomes the mainstream, when it goes to the time of making a decision, it tends to gain that steam that's needed. Let's hope that that's actually the case here. That's really something else. It could be. It could very well be the case. And I hope the best. I hope the best for everyone. And again, I said I don't have any skin in the game. I won't even be in Canada or considered Canadian within the next 6 months. So that's the thing. I mean, I'll always be a Canadian. I was born here in Canada. I've spent most of my life here in Canada, but I won't be on this side of the border after this. Clyde and your wife need to start up a daycare when you get down to Texas. you could make bank. I think that's what you meant to say. You can make bank. Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna be talking about a bunch in tonight's show because yeah, holy cow, that's I haven't even touched the story yet. You know, I decided okay, I'm gonna go have some time off, and then that story hit, and then I thought, should I jump on this right away, or should I just have some quality time with family? And I was like, I'm gonna side with family. I can get back to this story. It's a doozy. It's absolutely a doozy. And G Meister in there with the tonight's Discord server link. If you don't know what that is, well, Discord is another social media app that has really good voice and video. So if you like to hang out in chat rooms and do voice and video and all that stuff, we have a community for that. But we only make it available on Friday nights. It's the only time it's ever available. So that's the time to get in because that link will expire. I'll be hanging out there later after the live stream, as I do typically on Fridays. But the server's there all the time. Once you're in it, if you get a link on a Friday, then you can get in there. The reason why we don't open it up to everybody is because we had that before, and it fills up with bots and trolls, and we just want to kind of keep it to the people in the community, and then we police that on top of that. So if we see people in there with their fed posting and things like that, yeah, you get kicked out real quick. So yeah, it's just for really good people that want to hang out and have conversations about things. Like-minded people, of course. Yay, Clyde got my wobbly pop. Nice. I've got. It's January, so it's one of those. It's one of those things. We'll see how long it lasts. 0-0. Let the people vote on it, man. What vote on what? What are people voting on? I'd like to find out. First Nations have zero say. No, they do. They have just as much say as everybody else in Alberta. I think that's what you're talking about the whole Alberta independence thing. Alberta will never be able to get independence because of Aboriginal concerns, which should have been dealt with years ago. No, I disagree with that one, but I just defer to the conversation I had with Keith Wilson just the other week. So it's on the channel. It's also on the second channel. If you're not a subscriber to the second channel, make sure you go over there because we've been putting videos out quite a bit lately. Mostly on the second channel. It's videos that from some of the lives, the large conversations, we cut them down by topic. So if you didn't catch the whole thing, yeah. Oh, I was talking to that dude in the chat. The First Nations will have just as much say on Alberta independence individually as each individual First Nations person will have just as much say as every other individual in Alberta. That's how it is. I don't think they're looking towards having any sort of like collective rights or collective anything like that. I think it's very much more of a individualist thought process there. So they'll each individual will have just as much of a say as every other individual in the province. So that would be fair, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, I usually think that that's kind of the fair thing. Yeah. Purdy and Wilson have a good take on Alberta separation. Yes, I've heard Purdy's arguments, and I've had Keith on to give his. So yeah, I tend to agree with the experts in the thing. And like I said, there are a bunch of naysayers. There are people that say it can't happen, it'll never happen. And whether or not it's actually decided by the Albertans. For those that say that it won't happen, even if the election occurs the referendum occurs and Albertans decide they want to leave and say that, well, it'll never happen even at that. Well, I disagree there. I think if Albertans decide as a voting bloc in not, it doesn't have to be unanimous, but if a majority of the people vote to separate, then it goes towards that. That's where it goes. There's a bunch of people who say that they won't be able to because the the federals in Ottawa, they're not going to allow for it. They don't have a say in the matter once that becomes clear. Now, if Alberta decides not to separate, well, then that's that. That really is just that. Then it's like, there's gonna be a lot of tradesmen packing their bags, and I know a lot of them are contacting me, and they're saying, Clyde, how do I get out of here? How do I get down to the U.S.? So there's gonna be a lot of people with skills getting out because people are done. People have already they're already looking at this separation, this independence movement as their way to escape the clutches of an ever-growing state that has an ever-growing appetite for digging into your pockets, digging into your wallets, and taking your money, your hard-earned money, and doing absolutely the worst possible things with it. So people are fed up with it, and they've already counted it as like, okay, we've got until October, and then we're making the decision on whether to stay or go as individuals. That's a lot of the sentiment that I'm getting from a ton of people. Absolutely. I'll move to Texas. The USA is the best country this side of heaven. I like that. That's really good. I appreciate that. If a province can join, it should be allowed to leave if it just feels bad. It's a bad deal for them. Just imagine if they say nobody can divorce. Yeah, that's. I agree. I absolutely agree with you. If the people decide that they want to leave, that's the end of it. That's the end of it. They're gonna leave. There's no unwritten contractual obligation or anything like. There's definitely no contractual obligation that they have to stay. And the framework for a province exiting has been laid out by the Quebecers. They helped it. They helped everything go. Frank Vaughn has been doing some great videos this week. This is talking about jelly peppers, and he even came into my chat for the bonfire stream. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I like Frank Vaughn. I'm a big fan. I haven't seen what he's been doing this week, but maybe I should go and catch up. Sometimes we see him in the live chats here. Always welcome, by the way. Always welcome. If Frank's around, say hi. Say hi in the chat. But let's get into some of the stuff that's been going on, because it's absolutely ridiculous what has been happening in the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things happening in Canada, and this kind of points at it. What's happening in Canada is a lot like what's happening in the United States. The only difference is the voters and the taxpayers are starting to pay attention to it rather than being gaslit and just like put right back to bed, where the media likes the taxpayer to be. The Americans are starting to wake up, and holy cow, just before the holidays there, the proverbial shit hit the fan, and people are really starting to pay attention. So let's have a look here at what's going on, because it is crazy. Now, fellow YouTuber and Twitter, what would you call it? Patrons or whatever. Nick Shirley here. He's been doing some bang up work. He's been doing some fantastic stuff. And what he's done is he's gone out and just taken to the streets. Amazing Spider-Man. You just becoming a member today? Well, thank you so much, my man. Welcome. Love to see it. And I hope you stick around. That's awesome. Here we go. We got Loretta saying, I'm so proud of Nick Shirley. And you should be. And we should all be proud of Nick Shirley. But what he's done is something incredible. It's something incredible because some people have come before him and didn't pull it off, actually. Like this, again, this is not a new story. We're going to get to some of that, but this story is actually relatively an old story that was cracked years ago by some other people on social media, as well as I think Project Veritas. There's been some serious cracking into this story, but no one has been able to make it go viral like Nick has. And this is what his giant accomplishment is here. Now, he's been doing a bunch of this stuff. This isn't it's not his first rodeo, right? He is very young. I think he's 23 years old. Fantastic work, by the way, by this amazing young man. Amazing. Because he's got the cojones to go out there and just straight up do it. Just get out there and do it. So what is it that he does? He just goes out with his phone, a selfie cam, and now he's got somebody who records with him. I don't believe he always had that, but he just goes out and he films what's happening right on the streets, and that's fantastic because if anything that we've learned, just go out and film it because you're not getting the real story that much from the mainstream media. In fact, they're giving you the opposite of the real story. They're giving you a whole lot of BS, really, at the end of the day. A whole lot of BS. And that's what inspired me to make this shirt. By the way, there's a bunch of new merch on the store. I know a lot of people are all spent out because of Christmas and all of that, but get yourself onto the store. It's the link is in the description, or it's right there on the YouTube channel. But we got a bunch of designs, and one of the great ones, it actually coincides with what we're talking about today. We are the media now. If you've got a cell phone, which I doubt you don't, you're the media now. You can go out and do all of this. Get yourself out there and get out there and film it. Or if you don't have to go chase stories, but you may happen to just be there. Pull your phone out, record it. This is what it's all about. So big props to Nick Shirley for just being concerned enough to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out and I am going to showcase what's actually happening out there at the moment, because, well, a lot of other people are not doing this, and people are not getting enough information. So Nick Shirley, what did he do? Well, he's been doing a bunch of things. He's been going to like where the ICE facilities are, where people are protesting. Antifa's there, and there's like, showdowns with police officers on the daily, and that's a crazy thing. And Nick's been hearing news, as we all have. So he's like, well, let's go see what's actually happening. I got a question here. Interesting to find. Do you have your Texas Open carry set up yet? Don't believe the hype about 9mm. How about the only thing it was designed for was to be used by a woman? Get out of here. 9mm. Are you knocking on 9mm or knocking on the people who knock on 9mm? 9mm is a great cartridge. It's absolutely a fantastic cartridge, by the way. There's a bunch of like boomers and Gen Xers that'll say like, it's gotta be 45. If it's not 45, it doesn't have that stopping power. 2 world wars, like that whole thing. Yeah, no, I'm not in that camp. I love shooting 45. My favorite gun is the 1911. I absolutely love it. But no, I'm not gonna like personal carry in 1911 every day. It's not gonna happen. No, I'll take the capacity, and 9mm got quite enough stopping power. I'll take the capacity over the bigger rounds. Thank you very much any day. But what's this? 10 mils better? I mean, it's snappier. It's got more velocity, sure, but it's also got it's more expensive, and then it's also, because it's snappier, it's a little bit that little microsecond more of getting back on target. It's one of those things. Sorry. Okay, Amaranth set the standard by upgrading her from her 9mm staccato to a Dan Weston Razorback in 10mm. I don't care what Amaranth is doing. If I did, I'd be doing hot tub streams. But here we are talking about the news, my friend. No. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the nice carry options. I happen to like the Springfield Armory's. What is it? They've got the Hellcat Pro, which is like, it's like full size but got a thin profile. I really like them, and they've got them. They got them with compensators. Like, just, yeah, they're really cool. Yeah, Clyde hot tub something. Yeah, that's right. No thanks. Please don't do hot stove stream. No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. We're gonna talk about other. We'll be doing other things. Absolutely. But thanks for asking. Anyway, but anyway, so back to this. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of carrying a firearm with you for personal protection, but also, you know, safety for the rest of your community and whatnot. That's definitely a thing. So, lol snap. What was this? Lol snappy. You need to work your wrist muscles. Then I don't think I need. I'm a mechanic. I don't need that. I just wasn't that the complaint? There was with the 10 mil when the FBI got it. They were just missing all the time. That's what I got from it. But no, yeah, it's a good round. It's a good round. They're more expensive. You know, why not shoot something that's like the most available and widely, yeah, readily available. What kind of car are you driving? 15 plus, old, freaking out about the car market at the moment. Yeah, that's what kind of car am I driving? I can't give that kind of information out because then people will know too much about me. Let's just be honest about that. You know, I don't know. It's like I can't do that. My family has a car that's a lot newer than the one I drive on the daily. Let's just say that. And yeah, I'm not too picky about cars. I'm a mechanic, so it's hard to be picky. But let's get into this story, because Nick Shirley really broke the internet over the past over the holiday. It was really something. It's not a Porsche. No, it's not a Porsche. I like being not showy and out there. Of course, I would like a classic car one day, just to drive around. But anyway, Nick Shirley broke the internet with his reporting, and the mainstream media didn't know what to do. And what did he do? Well, he broke this story about fraud in Minnesota, and it went like viral's not even the word for it at this point. I don't think anything's been like this or this big. It's really crazy. So he posts on X, which he posted this on YouTube as well, but on X it really blew up. Here's the full 42 minutes of his crew, and he just says, "My crew and I exposing Minnesota fraud. This might be our most important work yet. We've uncovered," what is this? $110 million in one day. Like it and share it around like wildfire. It's time to hold these corrupt politicians and fraudsters accountable. We all work way too hard and pay too much in taxes for this to be happening. The fraud must be stopped. And wow. Wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. Did it ever get a reaction? So we're sitting here at 136 million views as of now. I mean, is that correct? Because yeah, 136.1 million views on this story, because it seems like nobody else wanted to cover it. It felt like nobody else wanted to cover it, but other people were covering it, and it's crazy. But when he covered it, it blew right up. And I love this. They got the shirts, the Quality Leering Center shirts. We'll get into that. But so he also adds afterwards, because this, you know, after it went crazy, Says, thank you all for watching and sharing. It's important that this fraud is exposed. I tried my best to show the facts and make it transparent for everyone to see. I've been getting thousands of messages from people who want to support my work. The most important thing is to follow me here on X and on YouTube. For those that would like to support financially, you can become a member on YouTube. It's $5 a month, and I accept donations via Venmo, Cash App at Nick Shirley 21. This fraud exposing will continue, and no, I'm not suicidal. And yes, donations will be used for security. Security for this video alone costs $3,600. So it's not cheap, but it's necessary. Appreciate you all for watching and caring. That's unbelievable. Wow. $3,600 US for the security for what it is that he did. Now, we'll get into this because there's a whole bunch of clips. There's a lot of clips. But I guess we'll just kind of do a bit of clip diving at this. Will anyone be held accountable? Probably not. Now this is where I think this story is crazy, because I don't think that they can escape this one. This one has gotten so egregious that I don't know. Here's where I get cynical about this stuff, but like I think they counted it up to like $18 billion now that's been defrauded, and there's reason to believe that this money has gone to terrorists worldwide. So that's really something, and that's really unique that it showed that right at that moment. But let's get into some of these clips. Here's from Nick Shirley on his YouTube channel. Here's one of the clips that he shared from this, trying to check my son Joey into a $3 million daycare in Minnesota.
Here at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork, or can I check out the daycare? No? Why can't I check out the daycare?
Martin's not here.
Okay, but if can I get paperwork or anything to submit my son little Joey to come in here to daycare?
Little Joey.
We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card, actually.
You talk to your manager.
Okay, can I speak with somebody? Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children?
Yes.
Why are there no children?
Two at Mexico.
Would my son little Joey have friends to play with here?
No.
No.
Yes.
No friends for little Joey?
Yes. Sorry.
Ah, dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare.
Joey's still homeless.
Joey's still looking for daycare.
And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota because of the government funds that they're receiving. I tried to check my son Joey.
Isn't that funny that the rise, you know, as soon as the government starts funding autism, there's all of a sudden a huge rise in autism? I mean, is there? Is there really? I'm willing to guess there isn't. I'm willing to guess that that's something that's not really happening, but I digress.
Into an autism center.
We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe we could check him into the autism center because none of the daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number now.
Like more than 5?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably, so you don't really know.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like the fraud that's been labeled on the autism centers here? What do you guys do think about the fraud, or how come the autism centers are popping up?
I can't answer.
What news? Are you a news reporter?
My name's Nick. We're doing a little documentary trying to find little Joey a spot to put himself in one of these centers here, because there's
So why are you asking us about like,
the fraud.
frauds and stuff like that?
Yeah, because we want to make sure we're going to legit business if we're going to bring our little boy Joey here.
This is not a Joey spot. Yeah. But that's our number. Yeah, you have to call. But this is we can't let you guys in. So.
Okay. spots.
Ah, okay. Thank you. So once again, little Joey, he can't even go to daycare, and now they won't even accept him if he has autism.
And again, no kids. Couldn't tell you how many kids they serve. I know the answer. It's 0.
Here at Future.
I know the answer. It's 0. It is 0 because it's really all just fraud. It's crazy. Rageman X says, who in their right mind leaves a child with these people? Well, obviously nobody. There are no children involved. We got Jancor for the $2 says, I need some Somali leering. We're gonna get to that. The leering center. That's the crazy part, is because it got to that part where, I mean, crazy. It's just absolutely crazy what they've put in there. G Meister, remember, for 42 months, my man G. Holy cow. Up there with that. Says with the freedoms Americans have, just imagine how bad the corruption is here in Canada that we have never heard about, and you likely won't hear about, and that's because they'll be jailing YouTubers if they expose it. That's, I mean, what else can you say? It's wow, it's incredible. I'm sure there's all kinds, and the fact of the matter is, it would just get dismissed and buried here in Canada anyway. But in the United States, and this is how it's been going for a very long time when it comes to this story about Minneapolis. In fact, this isn't the first time that this story has come up. I think there is, where is it? Here's a report from 7 years ago, and I'm on the wrong tab, of course. Let me pop this down here. About that. So, a report from 7 years ago says here, this is from Libs of TikTok, of Somali fraudsters caught sending over 100 million through airports to sovereign groups, including terrorist groups. Somali daycare scams, one of the sources of this fraud, were reported back in 2015. This fraud has been going on for years. Democrat leaders are in on it. This is actually treason. If it's going to enemy combatants of the United States, absolutely correct. That would be the case. Democrats are knowingly funding Islamic, and it's funny how she writes it up there, but then yeah, whatever. tourism against Americans with our tax dollars. This is absolutely insane. Have a look.
It's the morning of March 15th. We're chasing a tip about a man who's leaving the country. Our sources tell us he just took a carry-on bag through security that was packed with $1 million cash. You can do that as long as you fill out one of these government forms. We're told these...
I didn't know that. I've always been told you can't take more than 10 grand unless you declare it. But I didn't know, like, yeah, you could just have a suitcase full of cash. As long as you have a form, they don't even ask questions. It's just like, oh, he's got the form. I guess he filled out the correct paperwork. Wow. That's all. Apparently that's all you needed to fund terrorism.
Cloak and dagger-like scenarios now happen almost weekly at MSP International. The money is usually headed to the Middle East, Dubai, and points beyond.
Surprise.
Our sources say last year alone, more than $100 million cash left MSP in carry-on luggage.
What we were interested in is where it was going.
The national go-to expert on what's behind these mysterious money transfers is Glenn Kearns. He's a former Seattle police detective who spent 15 years on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force until his retirement.
It's an outright crime. It's unbelievable.
Kearns tracked millions of dollars in cash that was leaving on flights from Seattle. It was coming from hawalas, businesses used to courier money to countries that have no official banking system. Some immigrant communities rely on hawalas to send funds to help impoverished relatives back home. Kearns discovered some of the money was being funneled to a hawala in a region of Somalia that's controlled by the Al-Shabaab terrorist group.
Oh, wow.
How could they possibly come up with such big bucks to transfer back home?
We had sources that told us it's all about it's welfare fraud. It's all about the daycare.
To better understand the connection between daycare fraud and the surge in carry-on cash, you have to look at the history of this crime.
5 years ago, the Fox 9 investigators were first to report that daycare fraud was on the rise here in Minnesota. We exposed how some businesses were gaming the system to steal millions in government subsidies meant to help low-income families with their child care expenses.
This is a great way to make some money.
Nothing was done about it, so our report was basically just information for future fraudsters. What the heck?
I think it's kind of that informal word of mouth.
In order for the scheme to work, the daycare centers need to sign up low-income families that qualify for child care assistance funding. These surveillance videos are from a case prosecuted by Hennepin County. They show parents checking their kids into a center only to leave with them a few minutes later. Sometimes no children would show up. But either way, the center would bill the state for a full day of child care.
Later, they discovered that they don't even have to go to the center. They could just do it from their homes. No joke. I'm not kidding. This is what we've learned over time about this. So this is a great piece. This is from Paul Weston, who basically, I got to turn the music off on this one, but he basically gives you an instruction manual on how it's done. Two Somali sisters living next door to each other in taxpayer-funded housing can make $387,000 per annum by looking after each other's 4 children. If they have 8 children each, they make $774,000. We're paying out our ethnic replacement, is what he says. This is crazy. And this is the what he means by replacement. It's the replacement voters, because that's what the Democrats are bringing these people in for. This is the whole idea, is to replace the American voters for people who are making money fraudulently off of Americans. So this is how it's laid out. So you're a Somali in Washington state and you have 4 children. Your Somali sister lives right next door to you with her 4 children. You tell Washington state you're a in-home child care provider. Your sister tells Washington state she is also an in-home child care provider. Perhaps you live under the same roof. Who knows? Giant mansion together. Both you and your sister, your Somali sister, now apply for state-paid childcare because you are both working. That's right. You're both working on behalf of the government, and the government's paying you for this. Are you ready for this? Really? Welcome to Washington State. You and your sister are approved for state childcare. Your qualified job is being a healthcare provider to your sister's children. That's right. Your sister's qualifying job is being the daycare provider for your children. Washington State pays home child care providers between $24 and $33 an hour per child. That's right. To just stay home. I'll show you the math. So 4 children times $24 an hour at 8 hours equals $768 a day. This is what they're pulling in. Now you work out 5 days a week taking care of your sister's kids while she works taking care of your kids. This is really how this scam works. So $768 times 5 equals $3,840 per week. Imagine having that kind of income. Now there's, by state standards, 4.2 weeks per month. 4.2 times 3,840 equals $16,128 per month, paid to watch your sister's kids by the taxpayers of Washington State. They literally have this scam all played out. And before you scream, you can't receive state paid childcare because you would be over income. You are now a private business. You deduct your home costs, food for your children, your car payments, insurance, and more, all from that income. It's not your income. And you are suddenly still eligible for state paid Childcare. That's right. That's another entity that does that. Welcome to Washington State, corrupt at its finest. That's amazing. Isn't that just fantastic? It's really something else. So people have been putting together some really funny videos on the subject. I like this one. They're making all these Disney Pixar ripoffs, and this one was the one that cracked me up the most. So here, have at it.
We don't need to be pirates anymore. I found a better way. Government-funded daycare. Huh? We must go to Minnesota.
In a world where some rules need to be bent.
Did we spell something wrong?
Who cares, as long as they spell our names right on those $1 million checks.
Comes the story of triumph.
Remember when we had to illegally steal from innocent people like thugs? But now we're stealing from innocent taxpayers. Just like the government intended. Look at me. I'm the millionaire.
Look at me, I'm the millionaire now. Oh, amazing, amazing. I didn't get the foreheads quite right in there, but I mean, it's animation and fantasy is kind of all over the place. But this is a story that's been happening, and it's really crazy. And there's more scams that are going on, and this is not just Minnesota. It's just this happens to be where Nick Shirley was when he was uncovering it. But yeah, there's another Somalian scam taking place in Minnesota. This is unbelievable, and it's these Somalis that have come over to do this.
Started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
Just write the check. Here you go. You totally seems legit. Totally seems legit. Who do you think is running the show? Well, what's my gut? What does my gut say? My gut doesn't say that the Somalis are running the show, even though, you know, Somalia is like I think out of like 198 corrupt countries, it's like 197 or something like that. It's really crazy. It's really crazy how much corruption comes out of Somalia. So why would you be surprised that this kind of thing is happening? But this is a perfect gig for corrupt politicians. It is a perfect gig for corrupt politicians because they're looking for votes, and they're probably in on, let's be honest, probably in on a lot of these scams. And some people are alleging this. And this is why people are, they're getting called up for this. But it's unbelievable. And it just keeps continuing. It just keeps going. But again, this has been reported on for a long time. This is not a new story. This is from over more than 10 years ago. Going on 11 years ago now.
How significant is this problem?
Massive. They don't want a fraud unit to do anything. They want a fraud unit on paper.
Halicki was fired in 2013 while in the midst of a big investigation. The county claims he was an insubordinate bully whose tactics were hampering efforts to catch welfare cheats.
They don't want to point fingers at various organizations and people. This is nothing but a giant cover-up.
Reports on Deco daycare centers. We uncovered evidence the company was collecting millions in public subsidies for providing bogus child care services to low-income families.
In essence, this scheme was really involved creating a criminal enterprise.
In December, Ramsey County charged Deco's owner with fraud.
The daycares that I'm going to be showing you from this point on all bill over $100,000 a month.
Halicki says before he was fired, he was tracking a similar scheme in Hennepin County involving multiple child care centers.
7 a.m. to 6 p.m. There are no lights on.
This building is housing its third daycare center in as many years.
They just got a new license.
The two previous daycares had their public subsidies
This one actually put a jungle gym outside. Wow.
stopped by the county because of billing irregularities.
Hour after hour, I would sit here and document nothing.
Halicki discovered one center was charging the county for kids who were never dropped off. He took us to center after center that had no sign outside to indicate it was a daycare. When we knocked on the doors during posted business hours, no one answered. So we checked state inspection records for each of the centers on Halicki's tour. They've all been cited for licensing violations, the kind that are red flags to the state's Department of Human Services.
This is a cover-up. This is a deliberate attempt by the officials in Hennepin County to deceive the taxpayers. I have emails, I have documents, I have everything to prove they knew, and they looked the other way.
Here's an email he sent to the supervisor of the fraud unit. The goal was to stop the bleeding as quickly as possible and protect taxpayer money from going out the door.
Yeah.
Now you want to stop the process? I know you're motivated and rightly concerned, she responds. Let's get a plan together to tackle these centers.
Is nothing but a giant cover-up.
Our focus is really primarily on prevention, but certainly we investigate and take action and work with our county attorney's office whenever there is actual fraud that has occurred.
In the 2 years since Halicki was fired, not one case has been prosecuted by the county. We found most counties in the metro aren't investigating daycare center fraud. They're handing those cases off to a special team with the Department of Human Services that ramped up more than a year ago.
Public's wondering, what's taking you guys so long?
Nobody is more frustrated with the amount of time it's taking than we are.
Well, the taxpayer is. The taxpayer definitely is, because they're still scamming. They're still scamming. Still to this day. It's crazy. And when you go back in time, like all of the people who were called wackos and nut jobs for, for protesting against this stuff, think about that when you see this clip. These people were all called nut jobs.
$1 million lost each year. The Somalis, and that's just going over to kill our troops. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We need to stop it.
Carolyn Ham did mention in the meeting that people aren't responsible for the fraud they committed because they didn't understand the cultural differences. I'm wondering what Carolyn Ham means about people having different cultural values. Is she saying that some cultures support fraud? I don't know what she meant by that. That I saw her say that. I'm curious about that.
Because we're just sick of this, and that nothing's really being done about it. So we're here, citizens, as normal people. You can join us if you're sick of this as well. This is not acceptable. We will not have our money being smuggled in suitcases through the Minneapolis airport and sent to Somalia. This has to stop, and their people have to be held accountable. And our elected officials have to be held accountable. And people need to go to prison for this, because we're just not going to take it anymore.
We didn't really get the
People need to go to prison.
answers we were looking for, basically. I mean, the Minnesota taxpayers are being taken to the cleaner. For sure.
Oh, believe me, it's not just Minnesota. It's not just Minnesota. But in Minnesota, it's not just it's not just these people that are scamming. It's also the politicians, as you see in this clip. This is just unbelievable. This guy's actually running for government.
Congress in Minnesota. This shit cannot be real life. Let me introduce you to Abdi Dasain. Abdi is currently running for state Congress in Minnesota, and he is a Somali business owner. What type of business do you think he owns? Come on, just take a guess. Yeah, he owns the Blooming Kids Child Care Center.
That's
I
right.
seriously wish I was making that shit up. Now, how many violations do you think the Blooming Kids Child Care Center has received over the last 3 years? 82. When they don't just get caught doing one thing bad. No, they've received violations for a variety of things. No first aid kits, unsanitary conditions, no supervision for the kids, violating their license agreement by not operating within the terms, actually beating some of the kids. They got called out for not having any furniture, not having any furnishings, not having any equipment, not having any toys. They actually got caught not even having a single chair in the entire facility. Literally, this building was just bare bones and empty. And they claim to take care of 150 plus children and receive millions of dollars in taxpayer funding every year. Now the guy that owns that is probably going to be in Minnesota's Congress. This shit just keeps getting worse.
I just noticed it was on Top Chat, not Live Chat. Okay, I hope I didn't miss people's chats because that would suck. But I'm making sure all of these things are on Top Chat and Live Chat, not Top Chat. Come on. Okay, yeah, we're on Live Chat there. That's good. I just want to make sure people's things are not getting missed. There we go. So that's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious right there. Yeah, a guy, he's running for office. Do you think there could be other officials anywhere around that are in this kind of thing? Perhaps maybe mixed up in all of this stuff. Oh, wait, what's this? That's right. We've got Somalia's ambassador to the UN is a daycare administrator in Ohio. You can't make this stuff up. It's just unbelievable. It's serious. More info. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's right. Oh my God. Wait till you hear this. Somalia's ambassador to the UN, Abukar Dahir Osman, was a healthcare administrator in Ohio. Here he is. There is another healthcare company in the same suite as his with a different name and multiple others the same name, all with Somali names. Of course. That's just amazing. Just what are the odds of all of this stuff happening? How could this be? Even Ted Cruz jumping in on this one, saying this has got to be the Babylon Bee, right? No, this is the reality of the situation. What? The incoming UN Security Council president from January 1st, 2026 and Somali UN rep is also the president and CEO of a home healthcare provider in Ohio. What? So it turns out a lot of people have been, checking things out. Am I missing something here? Oh, I missed one. Sorry, my bad. We've got Ann Walter, member for 6 months, says, years ago, I did home daycare. I made a tiny fraction of the money. Wash State Sisters, the Washington State Sisters made. Couldn't even get my husband to pay for our kids. That's crazy. That's unreal. You just didn't do the right paperwork, right? As we've heard from other situations. Just didn't do the right paperwork. That's how you get things done, I guess. Is just make sure you got the right paperwork. Unreal. I'll never forget that. That one's always going to be in the back of my mind. Make sure you got that right paperwork going. It's just unreal. But it gets even funnier. It gets even crazier. I mean, it is crazy. It is funny at the same time as just being completely outrageous. Here's another one. Of course, Asmongold piping in on this one. What is this? 800, almost $1 million for a healthcare center, supposedly in $1 million house in Washington State. The scandal is going to be million times bigger than Enron. Just wait. It's like they've only blown the lid on the Minnesota stuff, and not even completely yet. And now it's like it's in Washington, it's in Ohio, it's in all these other places. It's so interesting how this has been unfolding.
$800,000 for another. There's another one. Oh, here we go. One more.
All right, we are at Halauli Safia Child Care Center in Kent, Washington. They have received $863,000 since 2023.
It's literally just their house.
I don't see any signs.
It's just their house.
That it's a child care facility. There's no car seats. There's no children's toys. Nothing like that.
They're not even hiding it. And this is, okay, this is one of the things I think is fantastic about this situation, right? What I find fantastic is, yes, it's outrageous, and yes, it should be outrageous, and we should all be outraged that it's happening, that it's been happening, and that nothing's been done about it. That's outrageous. What I'm happy about is that it's getting blown the crap out of, right? It's blowing right up, and everybody's starting to see, and not only are people seeing, but the right incentives are out there, right? The incentives are perverse incentives when it comes to the mainstream media. Mainstream media wants this to go away. CNN even did a bit where we called over 200 centers and one finally picked up, and they said, we asked them directly, is this fraudulent? And they said no. So there you have it, folks. It's like, okay, we can't rely on them. We can't rely on them at all. So what are we going to do? We're going to put out a new incentive, a new economic incentive, and that is, there are so many social media creators and influencers and stuff that want a piece of this. So what do you get when Nick Shirley blows up and he gets 135 million views on this topic? Well, you get other guys who do similar stuff going, I guess I know what I'm doing with my weekend. They're going to investigate these places in other places, obviously in the hopes to expose the fraud, but they want to get the social media, influence. They want to get their videos viewed as many times as Nick Shirley, what have you. It's a market signal for these guys to get out there and get some work done. And what did they do? They went out and they got a bunch of work done, and I'm thankful for it. I think this is great. Some people might say, oh, look at it negatively. I don't look at it as negatively at all. I think this is a great opportunity to say, look what happens when you provide an incentive to do something. More people do that something. And it's great. And thank you for doing this, Mr. I'm not sure what your name is. But this guy went out and he investigated in Washington. And now we're talking about what's happening in Washington, thanks to this guy.
So we're going to go in and we're going to check it out.
Again, that's right.
Hi, is this Halali childcare?
No.
No? There's no childcare here?
No childcare.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. Have a good one. There's no childcare. All right, guys, we were just at Halali, what's allegedly
That's hilarious. So they're at Halali. They had to give it a name. It's their house. It's just their place of residence, but it's a scam. It's a scam. So you got the sisters who did the exchange thing, and look at the really nice houses that they're living in. It's unbelievable.
Lowley Child Care Center in Kent, Washington, which is right behind me right here. We went up to the door, the exact address listed on the state website, receiving over $800,000 in 2023. They claim there's no child care here.
A couple $100,000.
Nice house.
I went and tried to...
Yeah, they have three. Look at that. They have 3 nice cars that are right outside their garage. These people are living the American dream.
And Americans
They're
aren't.
fucking rich, man. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? It absolutely is. It absolutely is. It's totally crazy. Look at what you could get for just having kids and taking care of your own, well, I guess your sister's kids, whatever the case. And if that doesn't work out, you can always go open up some other scheme where you're doing, I don't know, something else entirely. Here's Nick Shirley uncovering some more.
2 of the same home health, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Healthcare providers is not just daycares. We're in healthcare providing in Minnesota. Here we go.
Here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Den Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginnings Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Comments, sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business, providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Health Care Aid, Inc. and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the the same company essentially.
And there's nobody there, like nobody there providing health care. There's nothing. It's crazy. And Nick Shirley's given the right question here. Why would you want to be in one building where everybody does the same business? Why would everybody want to have the same damn business in the one building unless you don't actually provide the business and you only want neighbors who are in on it? at least make the fraud not look like fraud, but it's total. This is crazy. Absolutely
inside
crazy.
Of the same building, door to door. Right here, Queenly Home Healthcare. It just does not make sense. If you were trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here,
that's hilarious. Clyde, when you settle in the USA, you can do a full-time Somali daycare and part-time brake repair from your home in Texas. Lol. The brake time and the brake repair, I'd have to actually provide the service. Outrageous.
they have all of their competition right next door. We're wondering, why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the...
I don't know that. Of course you know that. What do we got? Sorry, jumped up here. Obamacare fraud makes this look like pennies. I absolutely think you're on something there for sure. We'll see just how much
fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud, okay? That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you.
No, you
about
don't
the
have
fraud.
to ask me, okay? Don't ask me that question again.
You don't have to ask me, man.
Who can I speak to? Who can I speak to? Okay. As soon as you confront about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have
and
these
then those
home
open
healthcare companies,
businesses, those open businesses always seem to lock the door right behind them. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane.
seeing them everywhere inside this building. What kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's false documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
So they're essentially just using people, saying that they had these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and then receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
And do you think there is fraud taking place here?
Don't want to talk, as you can see.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what any of these businesses are doing?
I never ask.
I never ask. I'm just in the building. Why is the guy even in the building? I never ask what these businesses are. They all say the same thing. Healthcare, 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 healthcare. I never ask. I never ask what they're doing in these buildings. In these unbelievable. And yeah, it's fraud and it's rampant. It's all over the place. Benny Johnson had this great clip about it. I really like this this clip here.
He has decided to respond to the American public learning about their massive fraud schemes that total in the billions of dollars by holding a press conference where we're supposed to feel bad for them. But here's the thing. It didn't go as planned. The entire thing was a massive backfire, starting with this clip of a mother who stands there and says the truth instead of lying and then has a literal heart attack on stage. Here we go.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand. Fraud is bad.
Whoa. I understand fraud is bad. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, look at that rock. Look at that rock. Holy cow. If I don't have childcare, I won't be able to work and go to school. Bling. Look at that thing. Holy cow. Boy, oh boy. That is Where'd you get them? Where'd you get them rocks?
This is how endemic fraud is in the Somali community. You can't just say fraud is bad. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. She looks like she was about to be excommunicated for simply saying fraud is bad. And then everybody claps, and all the liberal white ladies clapping. And by the way, those liberal white ladies, they're daycare workers. One of them hopped up on the mic and did the exact same thing. Here we go.
And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud. There is fraud in the White House.
Yeah, when Trump said they're not sending their best, this is what he's talking about. But it gets even more unbelievable. Smalley fraud daycare owner hopped up on stage and decided to announce that his daycare had been broken into, and guess what the burglar stole? All of his employment records and all of the records of the children getting checked in. Those would, of course, be the records that the feds would use to put him in prison. And while
literally he just gets he's like, we got broken into, it is horrible. You know, he's like, they stole our employee records and all the records of their kids and some checks. Get out of here.
He's sitting there sobbing, trying to make you feel sorry for him. People on the internet noticed that he's wearing a $3,000 pair of glasses, designer glasses, some of the most expensive glasses you can buy. These glasses are like $50, by the way. I wouldn't even know what to do with a $3,000 pair of glasses. But this Somali scammer is literally wearing glasses more expensive than maybe your car, certainly more expensive than my first car. So, yeah, I don't feel bad. And I won't feel bad when they're denaturalized and deported, which is exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah, if you come here with false premises, false on a false premise, and then commit fraud, goodbye. That's how it works. That's how the law works. That's how the law is written. So not gonna work out so well in your favor, bucko. But that's where we are with this story. It's just unbelievable, and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier as the time goes on. And we've got the government obviously starting to make statements about this. There was one statement. Geez, now my clips are all over the place. But we had one statement here. This is perfect. J.D. Vance even jumping in on this one. Turning off payments and forcing verification before taxpayer money flows out the door is one of the most important steps we can take to end the fraud in Minnesota. But there will be many more to come. Great job to these two guys on this call. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to shut it off. You're not going to get your funding until you prove to us that you deserve funding.
Hello, I'm HHS Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill. I'm here with Assistant Secretary Alex Adams. Alex oversees the Administration for Children and Families. Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I have activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment. Second, I've just signed and sent a demand letter to Governor Walz. I required a full 360 review of these centers. This includes attendance records, licenses, complaints, investigations, and inspections.
And third, we've launched a dedicated fraud reporting hotline and email address at childcare.gov. Whether you're a parent, a provider, a member of the public, we want to hear from you. Let me be crystal clear. ACF expects every state to uphold the highest standards of oversight, monitoring, and accountability for federal dollars. Minnesota is no exception.
We're committed to holding bad actors accountable. Regardless of rank or office, anyone who's involved in perpetrating this fraud against the American people should expect to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Prosecute these people. But don't just stop with them. We should make sure that anyone in government that has been turning a blind eye to this if we should be investigating them to the full extent of your capabilities and then prosecute them with the full extent of the law. Now, this is really, really coming into play. This is getting crazy because this is something that's so far beyond the pale that there's no way they're going to be able to ignore or let this slide. They can't let this slide. People are literally saying, why are we paying taxes anymore? You want like a massive tax revolt? This is how you get it, by not prosecuting people who walk away with literally millions of dollars of taxpayer money. It's absolutely crazy. Got a great clip here from Stephen Miller on the Minnesota fraud situation. Love Stephen Miller. He's always always in for a good show when he's on the screen.
Based on what we have found so far, we believe that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota is the single greatest theft of taxpayer dollars through welfare fraud in American history. We believe that we have only scratched the very top of the surface of how deep this goes. And you're familiar with all the scams with pretending that children have autism who are not in fact autistic, with pretending to enroll people in food programs when in fact nobody was ever enrolled, and engaging in massive fraud, lying, and theft and grift on a scale we've never seen before in American history. The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme, and we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people. Look, based on the records that we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare. But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh man. And it just keeps coming. It just keeps coming. This young lady, she had a great clip here. Oh, I gotta pop it on the right screen here. I've just been all day, it's just been clip after clip after clip. I'm like, I gotta share this, gotta share this. Exposing Washington State daycares now. This is where it's going.
What is that? I'm just calling. I found your center online, and I was just wondering.
I don't have a center.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye. Okay, so normally I don't do this whole TikTok thing, but
she's
I'm
quite
getting
quiet.
pretty fucking pissed off. As most people have seen by now, the whole Somali daycare fraud scheme in Minnesota that Nick Shirley exposed. I looked up the top populations of Somalians in the United States, and I'm from Washington, and number 4 and 5 on that list was Kent, Washington, and Seattle, Washington. I'm unable to find a website that tells you exactly how much funding these daycares are giving you, but it is so blatantly obvious without even saying that. A website that I did find, though, is findchildcarewa.org, and it's the Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families. It gives an entire list of all the licensed daycares in the state. So let's look at some. So first up, we have this one. Not even going to try to pronounce it. This one actually has an address, which a lot of them on this website don't. No website to post. English, Somali. The website is also weird because it gives you an address, right? And then I go over here, and then I'm gonna go to Street Maps. 1 second. So I take this, go to the map, right? And this isn't even on the right address. This doesn't match up. So I thought that was odd. And also, even if this is the correct place, what the fuck is that? So I went to Google Maps and put the exact address in that they have listed. And this is the house that it goes to. Doesn't quite look like a daycare, but it's a pretty nice house. Also, what I found odd was that the address number is blurred out, while on the other houses on this street, it's not. So say I go like one house over, right?
That's from Google, though. I don't think that would be.
Address.
I don't think that would be anything to
But
do with
from
this.
here, shoot, one sec. Now you can see the address. And also what pisses me off, so this is in Kent, Washington. If these are the homes that Somalis are living in, like, that blows my mind. I am 26 years old and I could never afford a house like that. Like, I have a stable job.
Absolutely not. I got, what's this comment? Do you guys understand this corruption didn't happen just yesterday? It's happened for years in Minnesota as a liberal democratic state. If you don't explain, it's useless to air here. Have you been here for only 30 seconds? Because I've been talking about this for the past hour. Perhaps don't just jump in on a chat when you've been listening for 10 seconds and assume that I haven't been talking about that. That's what we'd call quite rude. But enjoy your stay here. You can have you can get in on that. People's rage should be like the surface of the sun. It's not even a country to begin with. What? Which? Canada? Canada's hardly a country anymore. Holy cow. Wow, how about the Aboriginal industry in Canada? Making a Killing. Yeah, so Making a Killing, that was a really, really, really good documentary that One BC put together. Yeah, go check it out. Absolutely. Oh, can I get a quick recap? Okay, fraud has been happening. Nick Shirley, a YouTuber, really showcased it and put it out there to the world. That's where everybody started to hear about it. But nonetheless, this has been around for more than 10 years, and people have been reporting on this for more than 10 years. It just didn't blow up in a viral way like this until this past week. And that's what's happening. Now the mainstream media is on the, trying to backpedal this whole damn thing so that it goes away, but it ain't going away this time. And in fact, as I've been pointing out, what it has done is it's inspired a bunch of other creators. I don't mean Asmongold here. I mean guys like this who then took this information and took it to their own states and then went and investigated in the same manner as Nick Shirley did. And that would be, oh, you're kidding. You're kidding about that. Fair enough. But it is good. It is good to have a recap. It is good to have a recap every so often during live streams like this. But yeah, if you're just coming in and you're like, you didn't even talk about how it's been. Yeah, I did actually. But here I am recapping that for some people. I've been there the whole time. I was just making fun of the one person. I appreciate that. Thank you. I've followed this for 35 years. Okay. So, it's been a story. But Nick Shirley has been the guy to really blow it up. And because he got it to blow up, it's wow, holy. It's gone crazy. It's gone absolutely crazy. And this is why a lot of people are talking about it. In fact, and another big thing that's coming out of this is because of the whole Minnesota situation, and then this is happening in Ohio, it's happening in Washington, and it's probably going to come out that it's happening in other places, probably like Nevada and other places, where a significant amount of the reason behind this is to bring in the voting blocks that will vote Democrat, entice people in with the ability to fraudulently earn or be given tons and tons and tons of money, and you get your votes. The Democrats themselves are not going to pay for this. They're not going to pay for the votes. They'll get the taxpayer to pay for the votes. And that's what's been happening. And people like Elon Musk have been pointing this out a lot, actually. Elon Musk has been really on the on this story. Absolutely. So, yes, this is biggest crime in American history. Kevin Bass says, I crunched the data. I made a map. States with no effective voter ID requirements average nearly 8 times more welfare benefits to illegal migrants compared to states requiring voter ID verification. They are importing and paying illegals for votes. This is what's happening. It's really, really crazy. It says welfare benefit breakdown. So welfare benefit breakdown. States with no effective ID versus ID required. Healthcare, 33% versus 0. Food assistance, 21% versus 0%. Cash assistance, 71% versus 22%. EITC, what is that? Does anyone know what that is in the chat? EITC, 46 versus 1. Methodology, data sources. Voter identification required were obtained from the National Conference of State Legislatures, which categorizes state laws into 5 tier-based restrictness. Where did anyone answer that? I'm surprised. Blah blah blah. Why did you leave Canada? Are you a race mixer with Oriental children that don't look up to you? What? Are you? I gotta address this. Because so I poked the bear on Twitter. And there's a bunch of like white nationalists, people who actually want Canada to become a white only country. They have this like crazy false nostalgia of a Canada that was a white only utopia at one point, which never existed. But of course, they don't like me for a number of reasons. They liked me originally, and I never understood why, because of things like you're reading here. So why did you leave Canada? Why are you a race mixer with Oriental children that don't look like you? Why are you providing Canadian commentary after you abandoned your nation? Okay, let's address a few of these. I'm not providing Canadian commentary right now. I'm talking about freaking Minnesota, you retard. And Washington and Ohio. And now I'm talking about voter fraud in Nevada, but I'm about to get to that. But okay, why did you leave Canada? I still live in Canada, but I am leaving Canada. I'm going to go to Texas. Sorry, not sorry. Why are you a race mixer? Because everyone in the world is a race mixer. It's just an extent of how much. You probably consider yourself white, but other whites probably don't consider you white. Yeah, just look at your lineage, pal. Just look back at your lineage. If you've got like the white supremacists of yesteryear, if you had any Polish, Slavic, Hispanic, you name it, they probably hated you too. And they're just letting you in because the numbers are dwindling. Yeah. Why are you providing that's my thoughts on this. And where's your name in there? Where's your name in there? Because I'm gonna kick your ass out of this place. That's what's about to happen. But that's why. Yeah, I pissed off a bunch of. Goodbye. Yeah, no, I pissed off a bunch of white supremacists. Like people, and I'm not talking about like people who are conservative and they get labeled white supremacist. No, like people who actually like listen, look at the comment. Yeah, that's a real thing that they don't like me much. It's really funny. I like it, but yeah, I gotta address it every once in a while. But is that coping badly? When someone attacks my family, is that coping badly? Where is that comment? Is that coping bad? Clyde, let it go. No, you don't get to call me a shit like that and have me let it go. Oh, okay, that's what happened. G-Meister already did it. Sorry, I saw no mods in there for a little while. So I was like, oh shit, I guess there's no mods in there. But yeah. And it's always people that hide behind anonymity that have stuff like this to say. They really, they say all this stuff about being courageous and whatnot, and they all hide behind anonymity and throw their rocks from behind a wall. Clyde, I hope you're doing well, brother. I'm doing well. And yeah. Clyde, do something. Your real name? My name's Clyde Nichols. Go check out my IMDb page. Every speaking conference I ever go to is under my actual name. So yeah, I'm not hiding out there. That's again, I'm out there. I'm out there to be seen. What's really crazy is the only people I've had really come and attack me have been white nationalists. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at the people who have argued. I've gone after communists. I've gone after socialists, and the biggest people that don't like me are white nationalists. That's the one group of people that really, really dislike me, of all of them, because I'm conservative and I'll talk to people of other races that are conservative as well. So, yeah, I'm not gonna back down, and I won't be browbeaten by a bunch of people who, again, throwing stones from a glass building, I guess, as they call it. Yeah, no, I won't do that. But come out and say that stuff in public. Come out and say those things in public. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that, because that's the thing that never happens. And you get them like they'll be like, "Oh, we did a public event." And you're like, "Yeah, okay." At like 6 a.m., just as the sun came up, you did your little thing and then ran off. No, people don't take nicely to that kind of thing. That's how that goes. Anyway, come talk to me in the server later about it if you want more information. I'm gonna get back to this story. So welfare benefit breakdown. So this is in response to this story that's Elon Musk retweeted. So crunched the data, made a map. These are the states with effective no voter ID, and there's this. Again, the narrative of what happened in the previous election, that the second one that Trump won, not the third one that he won, that narrative is absolutely crumbling these days, and that's because of the information that's been coming out. Now, Nevada was one of those states that was one of those ones where Trump went in and he straight up. He challenged it because there was like a few thousand, or no, that was Georgia. Georgia was a few thousand votes. And then you go to like Nevada and you see what's happening here. This is really crazy. So major election fraud was exposed in Nevada in 2020 election. Witness presented detailed allegations approximating 130,000 questionable votes in Nevada. 42 instances of, here, just have a listen to this.
42,000 people in Nevada voted more than once, according to your work in this. 42,000 people. 1,500 people voted in Nevada that were dead. 19,000 people voted though they did not live in Nevada and they weren't a college student. 8,000 people voted from a non-existent address. 15,000 people voted though they were registered to a commercial address or a vacant address, and 4,000 people voted in Nevada that are non-citizens. My question to you is, in my state, when someone votes twice, and we do have that occasionally, and about 50 times a year that actually occurs in our state, we prosecute individuals that vote twice. Of this 130,000 instances that you have identified from the 2020 election in Nevada, do you know of any prosecutions currently going on in Nevada for any voter fraud?
Not yet, Senator, and that's extremely important. These laws have to be enforced. We, of course, I represent the Trump campaign and the campaign's electors. I don't represent the government. We can't bring prosecutions. But if we are going to enforce voter integrity laws, they must be enforced, and we are confident that although it often takes a long time to put together a fraud case, although it takes prosecutors months, sometimes even years, to go through subpoenas and warrants and using the FBI to go investigate these things, once a good hard look at these cases is examined, an honest look, if we do that, there should be charges brought. Because the ranking member brought up in his remarks that when you lose the principle of one person, one vote, the end result is authoritarianism. That's exactly what we're saying here today.
Yes, that is authoritarianism. Now, the question is, are they actually going to be able to look into this? Now, under a Trump administration, I'd say the feds would be able to, but this is because it falls under Nevada jurisdiction and Nevada has to do it. Is that really going to happen? I don't know. Still yet to be seen. Still absolutely yet to be seen.
42,000.
Whoop, there it goes again. But hey, let's look into some other of these clips that I pulled up from before. I forget what this one was, but oh, okay, yeah. This is another good clip that Benny Johnson brought up. A Somali indicted in Minnesota's $14 million feeding out of our future scam that should be a B. $14 billion feeding out of our future scam is getting federal funds through assisted living homes, and his wife runs on his wife runs on his property. It just keeps going. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. This is insane.
But this assisted living facility puts this all in perspective. It's owned by a man indicted for laundering $1 million in the Feeding Our Future scam. He's Gandhi Mohammed, now Gandhi Abdi Kadai, and his LLC owns the homes. His wife runs the assisted living facilities, and the state is continuing to pay as he awaits his trial. Okay. We went to each of them.
We're curious because the man who owns this building was indicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal. Did you know that?
No.
Don't know that?
You think what?
Do you know the Feeding Our Future scandal? The scam that was, there's all these indictments related to false, billing on feeding children.
No, that's not true.
That it's not true?
It's not true. The way I know that, no.
These assisted living facilities received over $2.3 million in state money last year alone. A Minnesota Reformer article says he has been paid a whopping $49 million since 2016.
Unreal. How is it possible that this person who's been indicted in Feeding Our Future also is still collecting checks from the state, running these assisted living centers with his wife?
I honestly have no idea. It seems like the most basic due diligence would have been to run a check of all the people indicted in Feeding Our Future and then make sure they're not getting paid from other state programs. And at least in this case, and I've heard perhaps in others, they didn't do that.
State Representative Kristen Robbins is the chair of the House Fraud and Oversight Committee here.
So this person owns assisted living facilities, and his wife runs the service provider part of it. So he owns the property. One of the properties was purchased with the same shell company he used to money launder in Feeding Our Future. And now that same shell company has been used to buy a new assisted living facility property. It's unconscionable that they haven't done the most basic due diligence to cross-check that Feeding Our Future defendants aren't getting additional state money.
Now, we reached out to this man and his wife and yet to hear back. We also reached out to the Department of Human Services here, and they gave us a statement. In part, it basically says, ultimately, they can't cut funding from this guy because he is simply a landlord, essentially because his wife runs the services for these assisted living facilities.
Unbelievable. What else did I have? I wanted to look this up actually. So I wanted to see what Trump's actual response was to the Somali thing. Because so he's made a few statements on the thing. Wait, what's that? Hold on. This has got to be a riot. Okay, so wrong clip here. Eric Daugherty, this guy's awesome. Lum Phao, liberal woman demands Trump open the borders to Somalia. Panics and asked to when asked to house a Somali refugee herself. This is these are two.
Somalia. What are your Trump is banning immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's terrible.
Why?
I just think that there's a lot of bad things going on in Somalia, and we should be taking people in war-torn countries in.
We should be taking them in. Well, we're trying to get people today to sign up to take in a Somali migrant. Would you be able to do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I could or not.
I don't know.
Well, that's okay. Where do you live?
Massachusetts.
We could send them to Massachusetts if that's all right. Could we get your name, email address, and then how many you'd be able to take in?
I couldn't do that without talking to my husband first. I might be open to it.
You might be open to it?
But I would want to have more information first.
Okay. Could we just get your information just in case
Only because I don't know who you are.
Oh, I'm Matt Miller.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but we don't know who they are coming in.
I get that, but I do it through an organization.
Okay. President Trump says he's stopping immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
We need immigration as a country. It's insane the arbitrary stops that he's putting in on all these countries.
Is that arbitrary?
You think America should accept in third world immigrants? He shouldn't stop it?
We always have. We should.
Let me ask you, we're trying to find people to take in a migrant from Somalia. Would you be able to give us just your email and how many you would like to take?
I wouldn't be available to do that at this time.
You wouldn't be available?
No. I live in Michigan. I can't do that right now.
Okay. I mean, we could send you to Michigan if that's all right. We're just trying to get, you don't want to do it?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is too funny. That's not the clip I was looking for, but heck, that's pretty funny. Eric Daugherty putting up another one, and this is Trump talking about that the Somali fraud situation in Minnesota.
Take back our country. Can you imagine? They stole $18 billion. That's just
18 billion.
What we're learning about. That's peanuts. In California is worse. Illinois is worse. And sadly, New York is worse. A lot of other places. So we're going to get to the bottom of all of it. It was a giant scam. Other than that, we're going to have a great new year. Actually, I view that as a reason for a good year because we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to get that money back. It's all coming back. So I want to just do something very special. Take back our country.
Oh, that's awesome. I love seeing it. This is what's happening. But this is, again, crazy because immediately after Nick Shirley's video went viral, more and more of these people started going out and just showcasing exactly what's happening on here, going on here. So this guy goes to another house, really, really nice house in Washington. Holy smokes, a citizen journalist in Washington just pulled the thread and the panic was instant. He visits a so-called Somali daycare, pulling hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer cash. What does he find? A $500,000 house. Oh man, I wish it only cost $500,000 for a house like that in Canada. Unfortunately, it's a lot more than that. But yeah, the tenants immediately start yelling, "Get out!"
Oh yeah, I was trying to find the local daycares.
We already know about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
This is a licensed property. If you have a complaint, go to the state.
Okay, I was trying to find out if you guys are a daycare. I was just trying to see.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. If you want to know any questions, just go online and ask who you need to ask. But
No, there's nobody online to ask. So I'm just trying to ask you guys.
No, you don't have to ask us anything.
I don't have to?
If you have any questions,
I do. I have a question. I was just asking you guys. Okay, you guys were listed on the website and a bunch of websites, so for daycares. So.
Oh, that's what it is. Then you don't need to go door to
It's
door.
yeah, no, you can. Yeah, I have. You can go door to door.
So if you have any questions, go call the child care check, and they'll give you whatever information that you need.
Okay, so you guys aren't a daycare then? Not a public daycare, right? Okay, I didn't think so. Oh, I can, yeah.
Don't record our property either. Man.
So these ones were really hostile. I just knocked on the door just to see if there's a local daycare listed on the websites. She said contact the state. just interesting.
It's just unbelievable how much is going on. The whole state of Minnesota. I saw this clip earlier. This guy's great.
Shout out to Nick Shirley. Man, I am so glad you did that. It is going crazy viral all over the internet. All of us who have been calling out the Democrats are appreciating you because we've been saying this for years. Now, for those of you who know me in real life, you know that I used to work around kids at charter schools. You know that I did the federal accounting. Some people on my channel don't know that. They just think I'm just a guy that drives cars around. I retired from accounting, did federal accounting for the school. So what Nick said is right. Nobody's checking up on that. In Nevada, the state sends people to our schools. They actually send people to our schools during count days, after count days. We go over financials all the time. They see kids, they see teachers, they see staff. They know the federal dollars are going in good hands. The state does that. What happened in Minnesota? It wasn't happening. Because all it took was for the state to do like what Nick did. Go there.
Just go to the
fact
place.
that they didn't go there tells me this wasn't just a small oversight. This was training. The people in Minnesota, the administration, all of these people, they are trained to do fraud. It started at the top. I'm telling you, and it didn't just start with the state. It started at the federal level. Who's ever in charge at the federal level for that state? Ilhan Omar, her boss, Obama. These people all are programmed to know exactly what to do because you need social security numbers, you need bodies, you need parents, you need addresses, you need contact phone numbers. A registrar will have all of that. So if the registrar of the school has social security numbers and files on all of these kids, then the state should have those same files. If the state doesn't have files on that, then where are these social security numbers coming from in order to get that much money? Remember, I told you in the last video, the head of the Social Security division, she resigned the moment Trump took office because they know there's something going on with these social security numbers. There's no way you can get millions and millions of dollars like that without social security numbers. I used to do the federal part of the accounting for the school, so I know exactly how it works. What Nick Shirley did, hey, hats off to you, brother. It's like that easy just to get up, drive down the street, and to say, hey, can I tour your facility? It's that easy to find out if somebody's committing fraud.
And yet the government is not doing it at all. That's the craziest part. But now, because of this, Nick Shirley's facing threats. He's getting threatened by all kinds of people.
No. Have you gotten so Ilhan Omar, nobody from the camp has reached out to you at all?
No.
Have you gotten any threats? Like actual death threats?
Yeah, well, in person and also.
Can you tell me about that? Like, are they messaging you saying, we're going to get you? What are they saying to you?
Yeah, like they're saying, oh, like, kirked. You're going to be kirked.
You're going to be kirked. That's what they're saying to you?
Yeah, like you're the next, you'll be the next Kirk. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Because it's not even, like, I hate what's happening right now. Like, I feel bad for my family, honestly, because it's like, yeah, like, we didn't do anything wrong. And yet you guys are coming after me like I'm some sort of villain.
But that's what happens when you come after the villains. That's exactly what happens when you come after the actual villains, the people who have actually perpetrated crimes against other people. And that's exactly what they've done. They've perpetrated crimes against the taxpayer, against innocent people who are just trying to earn a living, and then they have their taxes taken from them. And because it's a federal issue, now it's like that's the taxes from everybody. It doesn't matter if you live in a blue state or a red state. That's out of your money. That's out of your money. And they're defrauding people, and they don't want that to be revealed. So yeah, they're going to go after the person who revealed that every time. Absolutely.
Right. So I'm like, my little sister's getting phone calls. I'm like, why are you guys doing this?
Your little sister's getting phone calls.
Yeah, from like the news. I'm like, okay, don't talk to my family. I mean, some news in India, they doxed my home. They doxed my dad. It was really weird. I haven't even told my dad about that because I just don't want to even bother him about it.
Well, Dad, you know now.
But like they put it, like it's just like, are you guys kidding me? Like, why are you guys coming after somebody for going against fraud? Like, I didn't make this a right or left issue. I just showed you guys that fraud was happening, and now you guys are coming after me. You're saying, I'll be the next Kirk. You're literally stopping at intersections and coming after me and trying to attack me. Like, why are you so evil? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you defending fraud? Do you like money being stolen? No. Then what are you doing? You're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I'm just telling you what the facts are. That you guys are stealing money from the people that are working hard here inside the United States. I was literally talking to a black man, and then the Somali man comes out, and he's also black, so I can't understand what they're thinking calling me a racist. I'm having a great conversation with a black man, and then another black man comes up, and he's Somali descent, and he comes and attacks me for being a racist. I'm like, no, I'm not a racist. It's so stupid. And that's why the fraud has been able to happen for so long, because people like Tim Walz are afraid to be called racist, afraid to be called racist. And me and my generation, we're over it. Like, we don't care.
Oh, I love that, buddy.
Like, we do not care. Call us a racist. I do not care, because I am not a racist. We're just seeing that prices of homes are so expensive. I don't even have a friend that can afford a home. People aren't getting married because of how expensive things are. And we're paying so much money in taxes. Most kids are, I'm lucky because I didn't go to college, but most kids are starting their life off behind the starting line. They're thousands of dollars in the debt. And so, yes, we're upset because you guys are stealing millions of dollars and getting rich, and then you're bragging about the white man working on TikTok. Who's actually the racist? You're the racist.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness! And you know what would be the reaction? Like, what would happen if they were successful and attacked and hurt Nick Shirley? Do you think that the reporting that he's already put out there will go away? No, it doesn't go away. Like, the exposure has already happened. All that tells me is that there's more to expose. If they're worried, if they want to attack Nick Shirley. And there's a million Nick Shirleys out there. This is what's great about what he does, is so many other people can do it. Exactly. The really convenient part for Nick Shirley is there's nothing for them to attack. He's got nothing. They can't find anything on him. And that's just the reality of the situation. I like this. Hoodie mocking Minnesota daycare sparks online clash. Why? That's so funny. I love this hoodie. It's just the most hilarious thing ever. So the Quality Leering Center, because they didn't even bother to they didn't bother to spell it right. 1-800-FRAUD. That's way too funny. Too good. But yeah, that's the situation. They can't really do anything about him. He had a clip where he said, like, there's nothing they can go after him for. Which was the clip? Oh, nothing to hide.
What sucks for them is they're never going to be able to get me. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm a virgin. I don't have sex with random girls. You're not going to catch me on no sexual allegation charges. I don't have any addictions. I don't have any vices. So what are these people going to get me for? They're done. I'm religious. I believe in God. I'm everything they hate. I
love that.
And so what are they going to get me for? They can't get me for anything. Like, they're going to come after me for my personality or for a stunt I did in high school, maybe. That's maybe the best thing they could get me for, is for Nick Shirley being a young, reckless teenager, just like any other YouTube prankster. Go ahead. I don't care. Like, I have nothing to hide. Like, I literally have nothing to hide.
When you have Latter-day Saints, right, we have...
That's what's so great about this guy. He's got nothing to hide, so because of that, they've all got so much to hide. He's just showcasing everything that they've got to hide. It's just... wow, it's just unbelievable. But that's what's been going on over the holidays. Real cases of fraud being exposed, and that's amazing. It's amazing to see that happen. And I mean, the only reason why it's become such a sensation is not because of the fraud and not because of how much fraud. It's just because of how it went viral. And because it went viral, the cat's out of the bag. Now something's got to be done about it. So it really is up to, well, I'd say the Trump administration. I'd say the working in hand in hand with the FBI and the DOJ, and then also authorities in Minnesota. Let's see what goes down. Let's see what happens. And then also in Ohio and Washington State and other places where this is happening, we'll see what happens. We'll absolutely see what happens. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Been ignoring the chat for a minute, but before we get on out of here, any last words? But as well as last words, somebody in the mod group, G, whoever, put that chat link up here again for people. If you want to jump into the Discord, come on over. We're gonna go hang out in the Discord for a little while, have a bit of a conversation. If you're new and you don't know about this, the Discord is available for everybody in this community. And there are a set of rules in there. When you get in, you'll be prompted with a set of rules, and that's the way it is. What is Discord? Discord is just another popular social media, but it just happens to have really good voice and video chat rooms so that people can hang out. And after the live streams, we like to go hang out there, and that's about what we do. So head on over if that's what you're into. We do this every Friday. The links are only available on Fridays, and they're only available during the live stream. Afterwards, the links will expire, and then they won't work until next Friday again. But that's exactly it. Hey, Clyde, thanks for explaining. As you can see, you needed to. I wasn't trying to pick on you or anything. No, you're good. You're good. If you've noticed, there's a bunch of trolls in the chat tonight, and that was that was something else. But it's something I have to deal with. As there's a bunch of newfound people who don't like other races, then they find out that I haven't stuck to the one race. I mean, most people don't think that retarded sort of way, so I don't always have to bump into it. But because of my circumstances, I get it more often than other people see it. That's the thing. Thanks, Mr. Do Something. Bunch of CSIS ops, LOL. Yeah, okay, so that's actually something that I've uncovered. I haven't reported on it yet, but I had an informant from one of those organizations who told me straight up, yes, they are working with the federal organization, like what you would consider like the FBI or CIA type idea. And I tweeted about this because it's not that the government repeats itself. It's just that they're unoriginal. This has all been done before. This was all done in the 1980s with a group called the Heritage Front. Look up Grant Bristow and the Heritage Front and their ties to CSIS, the Canadian National Security Agency, and how that all got going and what the reasons for it getting going, to make conservatives look bad by being close to them. Now, yeah, it flares up every time conservatives out these characters as not being conservative. They have this big flare up, and it seems like a lot of funding goes into it, and then that's how it is. Racism is super gay. That's hilarious. All right, well, good night, everybody. We're gonna head on over to the server. If you want to come check it out, come say hi. Love to have you. If you come in there with the purposes of disrupting things, you'll easily be kicked out, and then we'll make everything good. So we'll see you all over there. And if we don't see you then, we'll see you Monday morning with another video on the channel. Everybody, have a good night. Keep on trucking.